If you're like us and watch an absurd amount of mixed martial arts each week, you probably wish there were some sort of rating system so you're not forced to sit through a boring fight waiting for something to happen. In order to help, we rate the fights on major cards for your convenience. If you happen to miss an event, check back here for ratings so you can pick and choose which bouts to watch and which to skip. Fights are ranked on the scale shown below, based on competitiveness, the skill and technique on display, excitement, and the story and drama of the contest. Wherever possible, the fights are described without spoiling the outcomes. Here's the MMA Gradebook for UFC on ESPN 3, Ngannou vs. Dos Santos. We kick things off with a heavyweight bout between Junior Albini and Maurice Green. As we all know, heavyweight fights are either boring standoffs or barn burners and not much in between. This fight was definitely a barn burner and a fantastic way to kick off the card on ESPN. 4.0 The Ultimate Fighter 26 alum Emily Whitmore returns to the octagon to take on the debuting Amanda Ribas, who hasn't fought in over 3 years. Not a lot of action in the first round, so I suggest skipping to the second and watching from there. 2.0 Not often do we get two 33-year-old fighters making their UFC debut, but that's what we get in this fight between Lungiambula and Townsend. The striking exchanges in this fight were fantastic, but there were long spurts of stagnant grappling. Nonetheless, this was still great. I just wish it had taken place on the feet more. 3.0 Fan favorite Gordon returns to the octagon for the 5th time to take on Morat, who has yet to get a win in the UFC after 2 bouts. Fantastic action on the feet and on the ground, although there were some stagnant moments in the 3rd round. Odds suggested Gordon was going to run away with this one, but that was certainly not the case. 3.0 Former University of Alabama football star Anders takes on Dana White's Contender Series alum Vinicius Moreira in this light heavyweight bout. A quick finish is always worth the watch, and this ended up being one of the best of the night. 3.5 Highly touted young prospect Ramos steps inside the octagon for the 5th time to take on yet another debuting fighter in Journey Newson. Fantastic performances from both men, and no matter who won or lost, both men's stock is going up after this one. Multiple near finishes and constant back and forth action earned this 3.5 stars. Contender Series standout Menefield takes on comeback king Craig in this light heavyweight bout to kick off the main card. Does Craig have another Hail Mary finish in him? It's worth checking this one out to see. 3.0 Longtime UFC veterans Dober and Reyes battle it out in this lightweight fight that is sure to give us fireworks. The theme tonight has been quick first round finishes, and this one was no different. I honestly wanted to see this one play out a bit longer, but it was still a good fight. 3.5 Fast rising prospect Roosevelt Roberts returns to the octagon to take on UFC veteran Pickle, who makes his first appearance since getting scuffed up pretty badly when his motorcycle was hit and run by a car. Odds for this one were all over the place, and a lot of late money came in on Roberts. But this ended up being a very close fight that featured some nice exchanges on the feet between the two. 3.0 Jiu-Jitsu legend and future Hall of Famer Maia returns to the octagon for the 2nd time this year to take on Martin, who is on an impressive 4-fight winning streak. Honestly, this would probably receive a lower rating by most people, but I'm a Maia fanboy at heart and love to watch him work on the ground. Overall, this was one of the best cards of the year, but if you're going to skip a fight, make it this one. 2.0 Two of the last true flyweights on the UFC roster face off for the 2nd time, and this time the winner is most likely going to get a shot at Henry Cejudo's title. This fight is exactly why the UFC will never get rid of all the flyweights. This fight had a title shot on the line and both men fought like it was their last chance at a belt. All around great fight and possibly the best on the card. 4.0 Former title challenger Francis Ngannou takes on former champion Junior Dos Santos in this critical heavyweight bout. Did anyone really expect this to get out of the first round? You've probably already seen the highlights on Twitter, and honestly, that's all you need. 3.5 Ratings-wise, this was one of the best cards of the year and gave us the perfect mix of finishes and decisions. There wasn't one bad fight all night, and even the lowest rated bouts got an average rating. A lot of people probably missed this card because it was fairly weak on paper outside of the main event, especially for a big ESPN card, but trust me, you'll want to go back and watch some of the amazing fights and finishes on the prelims. Let's block ads. Why?